about polarization or toxic polarization in the society. It is interfaith and arranged by the One America movement that held the summit last week that Brother Shahid and I attended. Um, Everybody now talks about the polarization in the society when people are going this side or that side, the Republican or Democrats, and the division is getting like worse and worse. Many people talk about this. So this movement tries to reduce that polarization, thinking that it is basically a spiritual crisis. So when the leaders of different religions get together, so this polarization will be solved. Also, there are some of the manifestations of that is homosexuality, is abortion, guns and weapons, all of these issues that you hear, Islamophobia, etc. So the workshop today was about the signs of polarization and some steps to solve them. What we were talking about, the examples that were given were about Republicans and Democrats, but in many cases triggered many things in Muslim, I mean Sunni Muslim, sometimes divisions. As you know, we have madahib, right? We have school of thoughts. Because Sharia, the ayat of the Quran and the ahadith are very limited, while the scenarios of people are unlimited. So scholars always try to do ijtihad, because the hadith are not covering directly this scenario, this scenario, this scenario, this scenario. Like, for example, the example that I gave before, somebody comes to late, he did not pray Salat al-Maghrib, and the Imam is praying Salat al-Isha, and it is the time for Iqamat al-Isha. So I found different opinions in scholars how to join or how to do Maghrib and Isha. There is no clear-cut hadith about that, what to do in that scenario. Anyhow, back to the polarizations. They say having different opinion or normal polarization is okay, and it is different than the toxic one. The normal one, when people disagree over something but continue to be in one society and in one body. They disagree over ideas. I disagree with you concerning this issue, disagreeing. And there is a hope that in the future you can work together, you can solve your issue. Maybe you convince him or he will convince you. But the problem with the toxic, which is the wrong one, polarization, when somebody looks at the other person and tells him that, I dislike you or I don't like you because your opinion is that and that. You see the difference in the beginning? I disagree with this. The second type, which is the wrong one, is I don't like you because you are carrying that problem. The one of the issues is how people, instead of focusing at wrong, they start thinking of evil. Instead of saying this idea is wrong, this is evil. In their mind, they consider it something evil. So what is the difference between them? Wrong, there is a possibility that I can correct it for you. I can convince you. We can discuss it. We can work over other things together. But when it comes to evil, evil is something that you have to avoid, and you try to annihilate it and finish it. And think about sometimes the racism between even Sunni madhab. When there is something disagreement over an issue, a madhab, you wipe over socks that are thin or not, and somebody becomes frustrated, either saying yes or no, and then it is this person is destroying Islam, destroying our religion. He's evil person. So instead of saying this is wrong and let us discuss or we can cooperate, at least let us cooperate in other things as a Muslim community. Then they start fighting over something. Uh, they talked about also in the workshop about misconceptions and also meta conceptions or meta misconception. So misconceptions, people misunderstand other people, and it happens. The example is Republicans and Democrats. Republicans think that all Democrats, they want the borders to be opened all the way, and not to have any restrictions. While many of the Democrats, they look at the Republicans that the borders are should be closed and they're against any immigrants and etc. So they are generalizing and they have misunderstanding of the other person completely. But what is the worst thing? What is worse than that? Metaconception is when a person thinks about the other person that he thinks about me, such and such. Okay? He thinks about me that I am going, this is for example, some Republicans or Democrats, that he thinks that I am going to ruin the country. So not only like he's misunderstanding the other person, but kind of he's taking the wrong idea about himself, and this is gonna getting worse and worse in this society. And you see the speeches of some candidates, because he's very toxic, the speech is very dangerous. Unfortunately, we have it in the Muslim community sometimes when people get polarized over kind of opinion, and they get it gets worse and worse when somebody thinks that the other person looks at me that I am the misguided person, or I am going to destroy Islam, which is a problem in the society. Now, some of the solutions is just to look at the common things, just to listen to the other person. And believe me or not, I still remember in our masjid back home when many people were fighting over two different perspectives, and everybody carries wrong ideas about the other side. Like, you believe in that, you believe in that. Say, we don't believe. One of the solutions is just to listen to the other person, not to listen about him, just to listen to the person himself. And this is what we wish for Americans. Instead of listening to media about us, just come and visit the masjid. Just come and see Muslims out there pray, join them in one of their activities. So this will reduce a lot of the tension when you know the person. It will reduce the tension, the tension, and also it will give you a correct idea instead of misunderstanding the other person and having the animosity against them. And of course, they have many other practical things. To talk to a person, try to look for the common things, talk about hobbies, talk about these things, and reduce talking about politics. Alhamdulillah, our community as Muslims, alhamdulillah, we are not neither Democrats nor Republicans, but we have our own issues, and also we have sometimes misunderstanding of the society around us. Uh, Sometimes we think that everybody is against Muslims, which is not true. There are many honest voices that they are going every week and protesting, defending Muslims and defending Palestinians, etc. So there are many honest voices, outside who want to be friends to Muslims, or at least they are neutral. At least they are neutral, or they believe in freedom of religion, etc. And now this is just an idea about the workshop that I took. There is a plan to hold a summit or a one-day gathering for all religious people, and also groups in June, tentatively June 22nd. June 22nd. And the topic and the details will be discussed inshallah in the future. جزاكم الله كل خير بارك الله فيكم.